The body is sacred. I just want to spend some time offering just some guidance, just a talk really about how we see our body and how we feed the body. And I know that most people will probably think that, well, this is kind of common sense, and nutritionists will talk about these kind of things, but we never really look at it from a spiritual point of view, do we? And I think it's really important, especially the first step, that we come to see this body, that it's sacred. And when new people join the talks, the teachings, I actually receive these kind of questions from them about what to eat and not to eat, and their lifestyles. So I want to approach this topic, and I've called it The Body is Sacred for a reason, as you'll see as we continue. And by no means is this meant to be telling you what to do. I'm not here to boss you around and say that you must live this way, you must do these things, and you must do them all now. This takes time. You know, everything on a certain path has little steps, and I think it's very important to take little steps on everything we do, so we don't rush into anything and then give up quickly. But if something resonates with you here that I'm saying, and it feels okay for you to try, then by all means do. But if you're not ready for that just yet, then just take time, maybe listen to the recording several times until you feel you're able to try that step. And if you're not, please don't judge yourself, because your body is sacred regardless. When I was very young, it was extremely evident to my parents that I had a sense, a knowing as to exactly what I wanted to eat and not drink as well. As a toddler, when my mother first started feeding me more solid foods, I would literally spit everything out that had to do with an animal. And that's not to say that I'm perfect, or anybody that eats meat is not perfect. It's just from very young, I kind of sensed that everything was connected. And I just didn't want to eat anything that now I look back, I could tell had been harmed in any way. For my pleasure, I didn't want to eat anything for my pleasure that had gone through any form of suffering. So there was kind of an innate knowing from very young as to what felt right and what did not. I mean, just take a moment to contemplate how do you feed your body? How do you look after your body? What do you think about your body? How do you see your body? And then take a few moments to ponder, how do you see other people's bodies? How do you, look at other people's bodies? Do you judge them? And then begin just to ponder for a few moments, how often do you clean your house? Tidy everything away, clean the cobwebs, polish, hoover, organise your home so that things are easy to find, clear the clutter, have a good clear out, stack things up, put things in the right rooms as you determine them to be. Do you put objects in places where they could cause harm, like something sharp in the middle of the floor that somebody could fall onto? Do you drill holes near electric cables? Are you aware of kind of health and safety in your home? Not leaving, things on the floor that you could fall over, because there are dangers in the home as well, aren't there? And your car. You use your car to travel, to get you places like work or see friends or family, to go shopping. My father is a mechanic, and from very young he always said to me, check your tyres, check the water, don't run on empty, check the petrol, keep it topped up, check the oil, and, make sure your car's running well. Listen out for sounds that sound different in the car. Listen out for anything that sounds, not right. How does it run? Does it feel different when you're driving it? And I become extremely sensitive to the sounds of the car from very young. I got to know my cars very well. Even feeling the steering, just sensing, is it pulling one way too much or not? So we become, aware of not only our surroundings, but what we're driving for safety and for the safety of those in the car with us. So the home is not just for us, it's for people that live in the home with us, and the car is not just about us. It's about honouring the people that we're going to be driving in our car with us. So we choose to be careful and pay attention to the car, to the house. But what about the body? So you could say to me, but Shelley, I can go to a nutritionist for this. A nutritionist could tell me all of this, but I know they could. And I know that somebody who works in a gym can tell you how to build the muscles on your body, or how to slender down, or trimline this, as it were. But I'm talking about sacred, knowing that everything is connected, that everything has a cause and effect. For instance, if you leave on your floor in your home something sharp, there is a danger of somebody hurting themselves if they were to step upon it or fall onto it. If you were to leave something big on the stairway and somebody had their headphones in and was distracted, they could fall over it and fall down the stairs. If you allowed a lot of dust to build up inside your home, mold to grow, and you never cleaned it, people inside your home, including yourself, could end up with terrible, terrible allergies, or could become ill from that. So it's really important not only to take care of the things around us, but to take care of the body as to, do we keep the body clean and pure? Do we put things into this body that are going to cause harm? And what effect will that have upon us? And not just this body that's sacred. I want you to also contemplate what effect that would have not only on us, as our body is sacred, but those people around us who, I hope, will see the body as sacred too. Whatever you do has an effect, remember. Everything is connected. So if I choose to overload my body with junk food, I'm going to be kind of slouched out all day. My energy level is going to be quite low. I'm going to feel quite tired and depleted because my body is trying to really digest that junk food. Now, I'm not a nutritionist, so I can't tell you the ins and outs of the body anatomically, or what effect that has on the muscle groups or what have you, but I do know, and I'm sure you do, that if you've had a night, especially a Friday night, of eating a heavy takeaway and lots of sweets, stodge, that you're going to feel quite depleted of energy, and it makes you feel the next day kind of a bit sour and a bit, tired and worn out, and you can't seem to move and do anything. Now, if you're to eat a lot of carbohydrates and you're to eat a lot of processed foods, what effect does that have upon you? Or microwave foods? I don't have a microwave, so I can't say, but what effects would that have upon you? Have you ever noticed? Do you ever look? Do you ever see? I mean, how many times do we all have takeaways and we all eat processed foods, or we all eat sugar and chocolate, and we keep doing the same thing over and over again, but do we ever really notice? Maybe we do. And in that moment we go, I mustn't eat that again, because it either makes me feel slodgy and kind of sluggish, or it makes me feel tired and depleted. It makes me feel low. And these foods can really affect your moods too. Watch yourself. If you eat certain foods, have you noticed that you're either really kind of hyper, or again, your energy might be a bit low, or your moods might turn to frustration, irritation. If you're eating plants, for instance, a plant-based diet, lots of vegetables, organic, do you notice any difference there? Do you feel cleaner, clearer, fresher? What do you notice? So the whole point of this is I'm trying to point out not just foods, I'm trying to point out, what do you notice? Have you ever noticed? And if you have noticed, what do you do about it? Do you keep repeating the same patterns? Everything has an effect upon us. And I know people say that I haven't got time for this or time for that, but we've all got time to clean our homes. We've all got time to check our cars and to go and pump the tyres up, check the water, put the petrol in. We've got time to brush our teeth. We've got time to watch TV, if that's what we choose, and time to go for walks. But don't we need this body to go for those walks? Don't we need this body to drive the car, to sit and watch TV, for this body to do the house chores? It's this body that is taking action in all those things that you enjoy, that you pursue, and that you are actively doing. Now, if this body's in pain, I mean, what effect does that have upon you and your normal activities? You know what it's like to feel pain in the muscles and the joints, in the organs. Sometimes it takes a wake-up call for the body to have a lot of pain, for us to suddenly say and see that, oh right, I must start looking at what I'm eating and what I'm drinking, and maybe I'm doing too much of this or too much of that or too little. But why leave it to that? Why leave it to the pain to come? Why not begin now to see that this body is sacred? They say that we have one body this lifetime, and it's sacred as a gift this lifetime, which allows you to do the things that you have to do. So why not, from now, start to see the body as sacred for all that it gives you and blesses you with, and treat the body as sacred and love the body